there was nothing that they did that was creative on their own. Everything was derivative of somebody else's work. Everything.
I always heard, and I'm sure he could do, anything he wanted on his own volition, but I had always heard stories that Robin Williams was that guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear anything about that?
I heard a lot of stories that he was that guy. Yeah, and I think Robin Williams was so, like, part of that manic sort of style. It's like this constant need to have a bit about anything that you're talking about ever, and killing, I think, was more important, and filling that hole inside of him was more important than anything, and so he would just do other people's stuff if he didn't have anything to say.
Did he get confronted by other comedians?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of stories. Kinison got mad at him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He stole from Kinison?
Yeah, he stole from everybody. He stole from a lot of people.
So it is true. I'd always heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. If you ask any of those comics from back then, there's always instances of Robin going on a talk show and doing your bit, or going on this and doing your bit, and yeah.
That was a clip from a recent episode of JRE with Harland Williams. And while Harland is the one that mentioned Williams, Joe has a history of talking about Robin Williams stealing material from comics. Almost 10 years ago, back when he was filled with life and had a joke or two to tell, he talked about it with a much more progressive Anna Kasparian.
I've never heard of a person that was accused of being a plagiarist that wasn't a plagiarist. I've never heard of a false accusation. And Robin definitely did it. He used to riff, and Robin was, in my opinion, like one of the best actors ever. If you see that 1 hour photo, you ever seen that movie? Like many movies. I think he was a brilliant actor. His style of stand-up comedy was this sort of riffing, thinking like he was coming off the top of his head, like this ad-libbing style. And a lot of times when you're doing that and you don't have like a set structure, you run into these spots where like, fuck, you don't have anything to say. And what Robin used to do, apparently, was do other people's stuff.
Now, I think what Joe is saying here is very interesting. I think the reason this whole situation is still considered rumors is because Robin Williams was undoubtedly an original. Joe understands that people's relationship with Robin Williams has more to do with his movies than his stand-up. Everyone has a favorite Robin Williams film, but most people can't name a single Robin Williams bit. What I also find interesting is the fact that this is still considered rumor at all. I did some digging, and Robin Williams actually talked about this with Mark Maron on the WTF podcast over a decade ago. It's not a rumor, it's something he actually did. Check it out.
Well, what about the whole, I'd be remiss if I didn't address it, because it's something that I want to talk to you about, and it's something I hear all the time, and I think it's demeaning, this whole stealing issue.
I think in the old days it was, if you hang out in comedy clubs, when I was doing almost 24/7, you hear things, and then if you're improvising, you all of a sudden you repeat it going, oh shit.
Right, that's the way your brain works.
My brain was working that way. And now I literally had to go through a period and went, I'm not going to hang out anymore. I can't, because I don't want to get into that thing. And I was also like the bank of comedy, went, oh shit, here you go, here's money, I'm sorry. I didn't know that, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Is that how you dealt with it?
I just paid shitloads of cash. I was just like, here you go, I'm sorry. And then after a while I went, I bought that line already, I'm sorry. And then they have to pay again. I went, oh fuck, I'm sorry.
So just guys who would come up to you and say...
Well, I do that. And I went, but so does everybody.
Right.
It's like there's other stuff that's common material.
Sure.
And there's other things that go, fuck, you're right, I'm sorry, I heard that. And then it was like, okay. And then I went, I can't hang out in here anymore. And then it took literally going, when I go here to the Throckmorton, I'll see friends and I can hang out like with Overton.
Sure.
Or you see Steve and all these other guys, and it's like, oh, cool, I'm okay. That's why it's kind of like living up here, I don't worry about it. In New York, I can go on and hang out upstairs in the restaurant and then go on stage. I don't want to sit down and watch comics all the time. But, in the old days, there was that whole thing about just going from club to club to club.
It's one mind,
yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of people that was like, you would say, like, there were styles, and you're like, but he's doing him. I go, yeah, it's Sandra Berthart's doing Taylor Negron. Yes. You go like, at that point, you're going, look at the blending.
Well, that behind every genius, there's a guy going, he stole my soul.
Well, there you have it. They aren't just rumors. It's the truth. But his explanation and defense makes perfect sense to me. If you surround yourself with comedy all the time and are doing improv on stage, you are bound to accidentally pull material from a peer. The rumors of him paying the comedians he stole from are true too. I think it's a great thing that he paid those that believed their material was used by him. It doesn't sound to me that it was ever intentional, and he took steps to make sure it didn't happen again later on in his career. But why even bring this up, Joe? Why even do it? Haven't you ever listened to Norm Macdonald?
Jonathan Winters is a brilliant, like, improv guy, and he would dress up as this character, Maudie Frickert, you know, as an old lady, and he'd go, hello there. He did a voice, and Johnny Carson just stole it. Even the costume, everything. And then, so this guy couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Because it'd be like if Jimmy Fallon took one of your bits.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
You can't do it anymore, yeah.
Robin Williams was notorious for it, right?
Well, listen.
I think it's a well-known. All right, that's fine.
You know what they always say? Speak ill of the dead. You know that old fucking, that old saw? God damn.
It's been a couple years, just let it go.
It's just been less.
Doesn't matter.